Hello everybody and welcome to the countdown of the top 10 best-selling light novels for the week in Japan, that week being October 16th to the 22nd of 2017. There's 4 new titles on the list this week. 2 of them have taken the top 1 and 2 spots, and of course then that means there's been a whole lot of other movement on the list. So let's get into it. At number 10, with 5,128 copies sold, volume number 6 of Sono Mono Nochi ni, aka That Person Later On. Wazu was an ordinary townsman who shut himself off in the mountains because of an unfortunate course of events. After 2 years, he decided to come down from the mountain to meet with people, but there were various misunderstandings about the mountain which he shut himself off in, and then he repeatedly had encounters with people, and after that... Now, this one does have a manga and a light novel. Neither have been licensed in English. While I was doing a little bit of Google searching about these titles, I did find a fan translation of some of the manga. I don't think it's anywhere near all of it, but there was some of it, so I just took a quick peek to see what this was. It is a pure fantasy, so no isekai, and a male character becoming OP. But you know what? The manga was kind of entertaining. I would be interested in reading this if it got a translation. Like I said, the manga was actually kind of fun for what it was, but again, yeah, it's definitely in that whole genre of OP main character not even realizing just how OP he is, and pretty much saving everybody who he happens to come across. And yeah, again, I didn't read very much of it, so I can't tell you if it gets any deeper than that, and of course there's no official English translation, so yeah. At number 9, with 5,251 copies sold, volume number 20 of Sword Art Online. It continues to hold on to a top 10 spot, now at 212,000 copies, 917 copies sold. Yeah, I mean, the Sword Art machine just keeps on chugging along. Of course, as I say every single week, God, it seems like I've been talking about this for a long time now. It is fully licensed in English, both the light novel, the manga, the spin-off, Sword Art Online Progressive. We have all the anime that they have produced so far available in English. They have recently announced a 3rd TV season that will be adapting the Alicization arc, which we are currently into with the light novels being released in English. I'm hoping it takes them a little while to get that season 3 done, so that we're hopefully further along into the books before the anime gets released, because I know my wife and son are going to watch it, and I'm going to feel left out, but I don't really want to watch it and spoil it until I've read the books, so... Anyway, that is coming. There is also a spin-off called Gun Gale Online, focusing on Gun Gale, with characters not involved in the main series. I was actually told by one of you, I did not know this, but that the Gun Gale spin-off is written by the author of Kino's Journey, and it is getting an anime adaptation as well, but at this point there has been no news of a license for the light novel of that. Although New York Anime Convention is coming up in November, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get some licenses announced. I wouldn't be shocked if they announce, particularly if Yen On announces that they've secured the rights for Gun Gale Online, the light novel series, but we'll see. At number 8, with 5,329 copies sold, volume number 12 of My Youth Romantic Comedy is Wrong As I Expected. Another popular series hanging in there in the top 10. It's now sold 174,524 copies, so very well for it as well. It is, of course, available in English. We have both the manga and the light novels licensed, being released through Yen Press and Yen On. There has been the anime as well that has come out. It adapted volumes 1 to 11, and you can see that in English on Crunchyroll. At number 7, with 5,514 copies sold, volume number 2 of Maou Toubatsu Shito Ato Medachitakunai Node Guildmaster ni Natta. Or, a little easier for me to say, after tormenting the devil, I did not want to stand out, so I became a guild master. There is no English license for the light novel. I mean, it's only volume number 2. I don't think that, as far as I can tell, there's not even a manga been discussed about this. It's relatively early for that kind of thing. Based on my little Googling and translating, basically the story is that after a hero subdues the devil using abilities far surpassing the highest ranks, he decides that he wants to keep a low profile, and instead of seeking sort of solo glory, he decides to become a guildmaster. And that the guild will then accept pretty much any kind of tasks, but with the understanding that the guild will keep a very low profile and kind of not be a silent partner in the whole thing. And it sounds like, again, I think I put this into 5 different translations and got weird stuff out of it all, but it almost sounds like he doesn't actually defeat the devil, that instead he subjugates the devil and turns the devil into his maid. I think that's what it is. Again, if anybody's familiar with this or can read kanji or, can read the writing system and wants to let me know, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, so again, it's definitely not an isekai. We're seeing more and more, it seems like, with these newer series, not as many isekais, more sort of pure fantasy for this one. But again, it's funny though, I do notice, well, we'll get into that maybe a little bit later, but I do notice there seems to be a trend about people who are super powerful really not wanting anyone to know how powerful they are. It's kind of like sort of inverting that whole OP main character thing. We've had a lot of series with OP main characters that really didn't seem to have an issue flaunting their strength. Now we seem to be getting some series that are doing the opposite of that. It's just people that want to live a normal life, even though they're OP, so they're hiding their abilities. At number 6, with 5,857 copies sold, Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry, volume number 13, or also known as the Chivalry of a Failed Knight. We do not have any English licenses for the light novels or the manga. However, the 12-episode anime aired October to December of 2015 and has been licensed in North America by Sentai Filmworks. At the time, it simulcast on Hulu. So yeah. So again, we talked about this last week, how a number of you said in the comments last week how good this series is, and keep requesting it from different companies, but it has yet to pass. At number 5, with 5,954 copies sold, volume number 12 of Overlord hangs in there on the top 5. It sold 155,751 copies to date. Pretty darn respectable for that series. Of course, the light novel's being released by Yen On. I just recently reviewed volume number 5. Such a good series. Really, really like that series. Some great world building, great character building. Reads like a really well done, like, high fantasy type series. Even the sort of isekai trapped in a game world type elements are handled, I think, a little bit better than in a number of other series. They don't quite seem just like a spoofy way to start it. It's sort of like integrated into the whole thing. Yeah, I really can't say much more than to say that I really enjoy that series and highly recommend it to people. Of course, like I said, we've got the light novels in English. We have the first season of the anime available. There is a second season starting in January of 2018, so not too long. We were talking a little bit about it in the comments last week. I think the rumor is that the second season will probably cover volumes 4, 5, and 6, which makes sense because 4 was kind of a standalone story, and then 5 and 6 are a 2-part story. And of course, the first season adapted 3 volumes, so it would kind of make sense that the second season would adapt 3 volumes as well. So that's something to look forward to in January if you're an Overlord fan. And what's really great is we'll be almost completely caught up by that point. In fact, I think volume 6 releases in January or February. So yeah, So not too long into that anime, we will be completely caught up with the anime as far as light novel releases in English, which is good for somebody like me who likes to read the book first. At number 4, with 7,368 copies sold, volume number 19 of Shinyaku Toaru Majutsu no Index. So, of course, a certain magical index, New Testament. We've talked about this the last couple of videos, the sequel series to a magical index. A certain magical index, of course, getting a brand new season, a new anime season. Not too sure how much it will probably cover, whether it'll finish off the index series. Somebody was talking on the comments the other week. I think they were saying that with the number of volumes left, it would probably compress it too much, so it probably won't finish out the series. It'll get close, but not quite. This, of course, no license for it yet. Again, this is because it's a sequel series and can't even be really released until a certain magical index is done. I don't imagine we're going to see a licensed announce for this for at least another year and a half, 2 years. They're only at, I think, volume, is it 12 or 13 of a magical index? It's just coming out in November, the most recent index. So still have a ways to go until that series is done. So yeah, it's probably at least a couple years before we're going to hear anything about this one in English. At number 3, with 8,742 copies sold, Volume 21 of Kino no Tabi, The Beautiful World, also known as Kino's Journey, The Beautiful World. Very interesting to me that this one has now, like last week, Index was number 1, and this week Kino continues to sell actually a little bit better and has maintained a higher position. I'm wondering if that's because of the anime. I've been avoiding the anime. Part of me really hopes that we might actually get this series, although with 21 volumes, it'll probably be, even if it does get licensed, we'll be reading it for the next 10 years. But in any case, the anime screenshots that I've seen have looked really beautiful. I've heard, just reading fan reactions and stuff, it seems like quite a few people are liking the anime. I'm kind of wondering if that's the case, and that's why this one has maintained a slightly higher sales point because of the anime, so the series is a lot more present on people's minds. And if the anime is decent, certainly we have seen it already just in the last, 11 or 12 weeks that I've done this list. We saw that with Classroom of the Elites or whatever. We saw a whole bunch of these things that, the anime definitely has an influence on the sales. At number 2, with 9,394 copies sold, Volume 6 of Watashi Noriyuku wa Haikinichi de Itete Ita Yone, aka Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life? Now, funny enough, this was just announced a couple months ago as being licensed by 7 Seas. They've licensed both the light novel and the manga. They've got them up on Amazon already. The sales date they have right now for the light novel is June 12th of 2018, so still a fair ways away. And then August 7th, 2018 for the first volume of the manga. Just so you know, the Amazon listed a different date than what 7 Seas' actual website has for these books. So I went with 7 Seas' website. I figure that's probably the most reliable. So June 12th for the light novel, August 7th for the manga. When she turns 10 years old, Adele von Asham is hit with a horrible headache and memories of her previous life as an 18-year-old Japanese girl named Kuribara Misato. That life changed abruptly, however, when Misato died trying to aid a little girl and met God. During that meeting, she made an odd request and asked for average abilities in her next life. But few things, especially wishes, ever go quite as planned. I've heard from a few of you, actually. I did a video when these were announced, sort of just going over what light novels had been licensed and what nice announcements we had had. And a few of you have said that actually your experience with this series so far, it seems pretty decent. So, and volume number 6 at the number 2 spot in basically its first week of release. It looks like It probably released late last week because it sold over 9,000 this week, but it says its total sales are over 10,000. So it was probably just like at the tail end of last week that it was released. So doing pretty well. Finally, at number 1 with 25,223 copies sold. It always makes me laugh when it's like, you know, number 1 is double or triple the sales of number 2. It's volume number 13 of Saene Heroine no Sodo Takata, aka How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. 2 seasons of the anime were produced. The first season was licensed by Aniplex, and the second season was licensed by Amazon. They've done 25 episodes in total, and they cover volumes 1 to 7. The manga has been licensed by Yen Press, but there's currently no license on the light novels. The life of Tomoyo Aki, a high school otaku working part-time to support his BD hoarding. With remarkable luck, he bumps headfirst into Megumi Kato, the most beautiful girl he has ever seen. Naturally, the meeting twists his life into a complicated torrent of relationships. Eriri Spencer Sawamura, his half-foreigner childhood friend, who's always valued her relationship with Tomoyo. Kasumigako Utaha, a cold, composed, renowned literary genius who shoves everyone aside from our protagonist. What is this? An eroge introduction? The tale of a small, not quite doujin circle, but not quite indie studio's journey through the tough territory of Comiket and beyond. I haven't seen the anime. I'm completely unfamiliar with this series. Let me know in the comments if it's any good. Obviously, it's still pretty popular at volume number 13 in Japan. So those are the top 10 best-selling light novels for the week of October 16th to the 22nd, 2017 in Japan. If you're familiar with these titles, let me know in the comments, particularly the 4 brand new ones that came out this week. I don't know if any of you will know about the one that's only volume number 2, but hey, if you do, that's awesome. Let me know. It may be on the list next week and I can correct any information that I got wrong. So if you love light novels and you're brand new to the channel, you should consider subscribing. I do this countdown every single week, as well as doing 2 to 3 reviews of light novels on a weekly basis. Thank you all for joining me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye for now.